Yo, things just got way more interesting. Tonight's Warriors win sets up the most important regular season game in years. Playoff Jimmy's rounding into form, but Steph hurts his shooting hand. Are you kidding me? In today's video, I'm going to break down the Warriors win over the Blazers as we get prepped for the huge matchup against the Clippers on Sunday. And I'll break down the 3 playoff paths the Warriors have no matter what happens. Welcome to Warriors Digest. I'm Arthur Ballesteros. Before we get going, hit subscribe right now. Less than 30% of you who watch these videos on a daily basis are subscribed. Just hit it. It helps the channel. Growing community of Warriors fans, over 10,000 strong. Getting ready for the playoff push, baby. Win over the Blazers. Normally, we shouldn't be celebrating a win over a terrible, depleted team, but my God, we needed this win more than anything. I was getting so nervous just like 4 minutes into the game because we couldn't hit a 3-point shot in the first quarter, and the Blazers are hanging around. I'm like, oh my God, are we really going to do this again? 2 games in a row. San Antonio. No, this is what should have happened against San Antonio. 103-86. We get a nice win against, again, like the top 8 Blazers players were not playing in this. This shouldn't have even been this close, but it was. It doesn't matter at this point. 6th seed, baby. We can lock it in. We control our own destiny. I'm going to get to exactly how we break that all down. But first, let's give some props to the Warriors bench who showed out once again tonight. Buddy Hield, applause to my guy hitting the 3-pointers tonight off of the bench. Now was able to surpass the 200 made threes for the season. This is the 7th time in his career he's done that. If you're just starting to watch Buddy Hield as a Warriors fan, you kind of forget that this guy is like next to Steph over the past 10 years. He's been the best 3-point shooter out there. You see him a little bit closer here in his first year as a Warrior, and you see how streaky he is and how frustrating he can be at times, but still such a threat. Even when he's not knocking him down, you have to pay attention to him as a defense. He helps stretch the floor. So just props to Buddy Hield tonight. 200 threes. Amazing job. Some other big contributions off the bench. Quinten Post coming back after the illness, hitting 10 points again. Somebody who's stretching the floor for the Warriors here. And my guy, Jimmy Butler, finally rounding in to playoff Jimmy form. These past 2 games, despite the loss in San Antonio, or against San Antonio, his getting to the line, we're starting to see him take over games, which is something I've been critical of him ever since he got here, because we just haven't seen him take over a game like he can and has the ability to, like we saw him do in these legendary playoff runs that he had with the Heat. He's finally starting to do that. Last game against San Antonio, even though it got the loss, 16 of 17 from the line. Tonight, 11 of 11 from the line, just getting there at will, controlling the pace, contributing at the line. I saw a stat that Jimmy Butler leads the league in having the highest percentage of his points coming from the free throw line. This is what you got him for, to get to the line. I think 34% of all of his points come from the line. This is what he's there for. He did it. He's rounding into form. And then, just a nice, solid win, and you get to, again, play some of my favorite guys, the guys at the end of the bench, Pat Spenser, Trayce Jackson-Davis, these guys who get in during garbage time, because it's great to see garbage time minutes here where you could rest Steph the entire fourth quarter, because, my God, did we get a crazy scare in the second quarter where Steph jammed his shooting thumb on the right hand. He was being defended, hits it on the defender's knee, goes to the locker room. We're like, are you kidding me? Can just nothing go right in this season? It just feels like Steph, every game has been just battered, bruised, beaten around. You got the back, you got the tailbone, you got now the hand. Good Lord. But we did get some great news. This tweet came from Anthony Slater after the game saying that the x-rays on Steph's right thumb were negative per the Warriors. It was wrapped and he returned to the game. So just great to see he came back. Dope to see him come back on the court and hit a three-pointer like immediately. This is just what Steph Curry is made of, what we're excited to see coming up in the playoffs here. And I'm going to break down exactly the Warriors' route to the playoffs, but give me your player of the game right now. Who came out, who showed out in what could have been a catastrophic night had they lost, but the Warriors, thankfully, with this win, they positioned themselves for one of the most epic showdowns that I can remember in years, at least for the regular season. You're ending the regular season with basically win and you get the 6th seed, you avoid the play-in, you get a week off. This is what's so crucial about this game on Sunday against the Clippers. Let the Warriors rest. Get the 6th spot, get a real playoff spot so that Steph can rest. My God, the man has been beaten to a pulp over the last month. Brandin Podziemski is beat up. Gary Payton, GP2, is beat up. Jimmy is beat up. His back has been, kind of stiffening up over the past couple of weeks. He had some issues, even a little bit further back than that. But this is an old team, my Lord. These guys are old. They are hurt, beaten, battered. They need that week off. Get the win on Sunday against the Clippers. There is also a way that they could, even if disaster strikes and they lose, there is still a way that they can get the 6th spot. I'm going to show that to you in just a little bit here. But let's cruise around the league a little bit. What else happened tonight? That button. Nope. Don't like hitting those buttons. That doesn't work. I would show you the Grizzlies and Nuggets, but for some reason that's not working. But just so you know, the Nuggets did win that game. But let's take a look at what else do we have here. This would have been super helpful had the Nets beaten the Timberwolves. But I'm about to sneeze. I have allergies. Holler at my dogs if I sneeze here, but I'm trying to hold it in. Things I do for the Warriors. Anyway, I held that in and I can feel my soul burning just a little bit from holding that sneeze in. Anyway, it would have been helpful to see the Nets beat the Timberwolves. That wasn't going to happen. I mean, this is a 26 win Nets team. They're not good. And the Timberwolves handle business. But interestingly enough, Anthony Edwards gets a technical foul. He's going to be, I think it was like his 17th of the season, whatever it was, it triggered an automatic suspension. He's going to be out for the game on Sunday against the Jazz. Could be huge. Now, the Jazz are tanking. They're going to do everything that they can to not win that game, but just a little ray of sunshine. Anthony Edwards not playing. Who knows what could happen? If the Warriors lose to San Antonio in a must-win game, anything can happen in this league. Also, what else happened tonight? This one came down to the wire. Kings and Clippers would have been amazingly helpful. If Sacramento could have helped us, Sacramento can't do anything to help us. They stole our goddamn baseball team, the A's. They beat us in the play-in last year. Anyway, Sacramento loses. DeMar DeRozan had a shot at the end of the game to win it. He does not do it. Clippers win. That's fine. It sets up this matchup on Sunday, which is going to be crazy. So let's take a look at the standings here. Warriors in 6th place. Minnesota is behind them. The Warriors can lock in 6th place with a win on Sunday. This is how it all goes down. This is the Warriors' what if scenario here. So they have to win and automatically they're going to get the 6th seed. Now, what happens if they lose? There is still a 7% chance of the 6th seed. That 7% rests solely on the Jazz beating the Timberwolves, which, again, not likely. The Jazz, I think 17 wins on the season. They are trying to tank. They're trying to win the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. They're going to be throwing out fans in the game, I'm sure, trying to get them out there on the court so that they can assure that they lose. But should disaster strike, like I said, against the Clippers and we lose, still a small chance. That's all you can ask for at this point of the season here. So what is the best and worst case scenario for the Warriors here. This is exactly like I was saying here. You win and you're in. You got the 6th spot. Just worry about that. Let's not be scoreboard watching on that day. One of the cool things is that all of the games on Sunday are all going to start at 12:30. So there's no shenanigans going on. No scoreboard watching and teams adjusting things. Can't happen. Also, this was cool. Tim Kawakami, who writes now for the San Francisco Standard, I think here. He's a legendary sports writer here in the Bay Area. But so he had just confirmed this with the league office. If there had been a 3-way tie for 5, 6, 7 with the Warriors, Clippers, and Wolves, the seeding would be Minnesota, Warriors, and then Clippers on the outside. Now that's due to the percentage win against the division, I believe. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm just going to take his word for it. He called the league office. I didn't call the league office. I don't have their phone number. Otherwise, I would call the league office. I have a lot of questions for them. Mainly, why don't you call fouls against Steph? But also, sure, the percent. How does this witchcraft work with the playoff seeding? Nobody really knows. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap this up. The Warriors, they got the win. They did what they were supposed to do. It's all coming down to Sunday. My God. Sunday's going to be wild. I hope that you're ready for this. This is going to be an absolute playoff atmosphere. Oh, and that was one of the points there in that last scene. The Clippers are not going to be resting anybody. As you see there's still a scenario here where they come in 7th and have to end up in the play-in. So they're not going to be resting guys. They're going to be treating this extremely seriously. They are going to want to win on Sunday. Kawhi's not going to be taking the day off. James Harden isn't going to be taking the day off. They're going to be there. They're going to be playing hard, and the Warriors have everything to play for. It's going to be beautiful. It is going to be a beautiful day on Sunday. I hope you call in sick to work. I hope you drop your kids off at the babysitter, with the grandparents. I hope you just sit down and watch, because it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. I can't think of a regular season game that meant this much since the We Believe Warriors, who it brought back nostalgia with seeing them in Portland, because if you were a Warriors fan back then for that 06-07 season, We Believe, getting Baron Davis mid-season, that trade for, I think it was like Dale Davis and Speedy Claxton and like a first-round pick, something crazy. But if you remember the excitement from that last game of the season when they beat the Trailblazers to get that 8th spot, that was magic. We had not seen the playoffs in 18 years before that. This, obviously, very different era, but this game has somewhat of that magnitude and that magic to it, where we're just praying for that win, get the 6th seed, get Steph a week off. That is the campaign we are on until Sunday. Get Steph a week off. Comment down your thoughts on how the Warriors are going to finish the season here. Do we get that win over the Clippers? And then what are your thoughts on if we end up in that 6th seed playing the Lakers in the first round? That's going to be wild. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. We'll give you a full breakdown on the Clippers matchup. And we're gonna enjoy this win over a hapless Blazers team, because we're almost there. We're almost there. Talk to you tomorrow. Peace.